The W.R. Bennett Bridge is the only floating bridge in our country, and it's right here in Kelowna. It's day 4 of our coverage. The Brier from here at Prospera Place. And this morning was all about teams in Pool A. And our feature, Northern Ontario's John Epping out of Sudbury against Matt Dunstone, Manitoba. Remember, he was a runner-up a couple of years ago. And Dunstone led it 7-6 as they played in 10. But this is Epping with the last rock with the hammer. How do you like that? Bang. And that was for the win. And Epping knocks off one of the pre-tournament favorites.
Get that monkey off our back.
Elsewhere, it was Kevin Cooey as he picks up a first win. Reed Carruthers, he wins again, make it 4 in a row. And a first win for Newfoundland and Labrador. So look at that, top of the standings. Carruthers with 4 straight. Gouju did not play today. Epping is right there now with Dunstone, and what a battle it's going to be. Now we're going to turn our attention to Pool B. And on this Monday afternoon, we say hello, Canada, and welcome back to Kelowna. Our continuing coverage of the Montana's Brier. Joe's here, Russ, and we'll hear from Kathy momentarily. My goodness, what a way to win for John Epping. What a morning of curling.
Oh, and his team is clicking. They had such a tight game yesterday against Team Canada and looked really solid this morning. And now you've got to remember that head-to-head, they have an edge up on Dunstone towards the end of this week. Team Dunstone, it's only Monday. They're in a must-win situation.
Absolutely. Remember, of course, top 3 go through, and the one determining factor will be that head-to-head record. Okay, featured game. Mike McEwen, Saskatchewan, runner-up a year ago, now against Quebec. They've started with 3 straight wins, but every team will say they can get better.
Absolutely, and they're so strong through their lineup, especially the middle, can play those accurate hit weights, peel things out of the way if they need to. I'd like to see Mike McEwen be a little aggressive early. They were winger with their hammer yesterday against Team Ontario. They need to go after Team Quebec.
Jean-Michel Menard now skips this Quebec team. They made the switch early in the season. He's a former Brier winner of 06. Do you like it?
Absolutely. You bring in a winner like that knows how to win, that can be infectious, help the team. But what I don't see is a strategy change that we thought would happen with Felix. They've given up 21 points in 3 games. That means they have to score 8 against McEwen. It's not happening.
Yeah, he was supposed to bring a more conservative game, but as you say, they've given up lots of points. So that is our feature. Glad that you're with us on this Monday afternoon from the Brier in Kelowna.
We'll need to play like we played in the second phase of a provincial championship. Honestly, that was the best curling we've played as a team this year, and that's the kind of level of play that we will need to give the big teams a lot of trouble when they play against us.
You know, they're consistently strong, so it's another go. It's another run at the gauntlet, essentially. To have to win, we have to play pretty darn close to our best.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By PointsBet, the official sportsbook and casino partner of Curling Canada. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. And by BKT Tires, growing together.
It's another beautiful day here in Kelowna, but rain is in the forecast, and so the dehumidifiers are going to be put to a test that were put in yesterday and last night. The only team that's not on the ice here in Pool B is Owen Purcell. With a look at the other games, here's Kathy.
Well, for Brad Jacobs, they scored 20 points in their victory last night, but Brad Jacobs did start with the softer part of the draw. He will need to refine his game and continue to improve as they take on Tyler Smith from PEI. Ryland Kleider, he is 1-1, looking for his second win. They'll take on Northwest Territory and Aaron Bartling. And finally, Sam Moybrook, he got his first taste of defeat yesterday against Mike McEwen. And momentum, well, that's on the side of Thomas Scoffin, who upset Nova Scotia last night. They are much better than their record and much better than the team that he's had in the past.
Time to meet the teams now, brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. Team Saskatchewan, Mike McEwen from the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon, skipped by Mike McEwen, with the Marsh brothers, Daniel, Kevin, and Colton Flash, who will throw third. Team Quebec, they are from 5 different clubs around the province. They are skipped by Jean-Michel Menard. Felix Asselin continues to throw the 4th stone, with Jean-François Trepanier and Martin Crête lead and second, respectively. McEwen has won the draw to the button, and so he will have the last rock, and won it by just about 11 centimeters. We've seen so many close draws for that last rock, and ultimately that could be a deciding factor. If head-to-head record doesn't decide a placement, they will go to those last rock numbers. So it is McEwen throwing red, Quebec throwing yellow. And to get us underway, the Quebec lead is Jean-François Trepanier.
Kathy brought up a great point a couple years ago at the World Women's, I think it was, that Canada was just way behind the curve on that draw to the button. And, you know, we all know how important it is. All the teams, everybody here is putting it on the pin one after another. It's just been amazing.
I think when we looked at it that year, Russ, Canada consistently had really high numbers and were not winning it. And it is such an integral part of the game now, not only for the game that you're playing, but what could happen down the week.
Girl. Okay. Good.
All right, keys to the game now. Let's start with Quebec.
Well, careful what you wish for Quebec. If you look at Mike McEwen's stats when you're sitting in the dressing room, he throws 74% of his shots are out turns. So you say, well, let's force him to the in turn. Mike this week, 97% on his in turns. Got to be careful. And goals against, as we touched on, 21 points given up by Quebec. Mike's only given up 14. They're going to have to be more defensive.
And now for Team McEwen.
Yeah. Same weight? Yeah.
They have just such a phenomenal sweeping ability with Colton Flash taking those rocks. He throws thirds but sweeps the other 6, so you want to use your sweepers on every single draw. The worst thing you can do is be heavy when you have those lightweight shots, and lead the way. Dan Marsh has had a little bit of struggles. He's currently number 15 among the leads. If they want to set it up and put some pressure on Team Quebec, that'll start with Dan.
Keys to the game are brought to you by Sponge Towels. Absorb life. All of it. So up and down the sheet we go here in this first.
That's pretty low for Dan Marsh. That's unusual.
And, I mean, when you're playing in a Brier, in fairness, his percentage is 87%, and that gets you 15 out of 18 leads, which is crazy, but you need to be perfect at that lead position in order to put the pressure on your opposition.
But, I mean, he could blame it on his brother, and who would know?
How true.
It's him.
It wasn't me.
It was him. Now there by comparison.
Lead's good. Lead.
Kevin number 2.
Lead. It's pretty good for control. Lead. Little big. Hair big. Whoa. Yep. Good. That was 9-5.
Is it a reflection, though, Russ, his lead numbers, of a style of play?
It can be, but almost all these, the ice is so good, almost all these teams are racing around that center guard, stacking up those angle freezes, and I would argue all the leads shots are similar. They're all tough now, not unlike this end where they're going to run it up and down. But and you know, a couple points higher, all of a sudden he's third in the stats or something. You know, he's not far off.
Yeah, early week you have one rough game and it really brings your numbers down. The other aspect is just with the dehumidification now, the conditions are a lot less frosty. It's the paths are easier to predict, and especially the leads normally have a mismatched rock, so sometimes those teeth can come out. If you've got a cutter, it's even worse when the frost happens, or it can make you look a little bit silly, and you would have assumed that Dan would have been managing those rocks as well.
Perfect weight. Control.
Heavy control, come to her.
Yeah, sure.
Heavy control. Okay.
Interesting, our conversation, Kathy, with Felix Asselin before the game, and how he's really bought in, and why not? They started winning when they made the switch to Jean-Michel Menard skipping the team.
And he was really clear that he doesn't care whether he's playing lead or second or anywhere in the order. He just wants to win, and what works for him are numbers, and the numbers that worked is the percentage of wins once they made the switch. So he said, why would I even question Jean-Michel?
And the other thing is they have a rule of thumb now, Russ, Joe, that whatever Menard gets the first decision. This is what I want to play. And then after that, somebody will throw something in. He will never say anything until Menard comes up with the first.
Okay, that's a great idea.
On fait la trapada.
OK.
Pof, ça vaut pas.
OK.
Petite gosse de moins, Félix.
Peu moins, Claude.
Whoa.
Juste contrôle. Good weight. Good weight. Patient, patient.
Clean.
Lève ça un peu.
Just clean. Clean. Yep.
Yep.
Clean, 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 clean. Good shot.
Shot, Jim. Good weight. Deux belles.
Good shot.
One more hit, it's not going to be in.
Normal.
Just work their way up the rings.
Yeah, I'll hear more of anything. Yep.
Good. Here's another player who would play any other position or any position to win, too. Colton is that kind of player. And they'll roll it into the center line.
Nice shot. And what?
Easy.
Good.
Yeah, Colton down from my area. When he left the Cooey team, I thought his deficiency was draw weight. He'd be back eight. You know, you just couldn't quite nail all of them when he played second. He then decided to skip with a whole bunch of players that were cast-offs, including the Marsh brothers. And he learned to draw, and he learned to draw in a hurry. He's world-class now. He's got it all.
Yeah. Spending some time at skip where you have no room for error, no tolerance, that would really get you to zero in on your precision. And now at third, he does have a little bit of tolerance to work with, so you can see how much that's paid off for him, that experience.
So they are 2-1 so far, Quebec. And Asselin is saying to us that he does believe the team is in a good spot right now, getting better as each game is played.
Probably.
Well, the two wins were not against the front runners, but a win's a win. And the loss was really came down to that second end where Felix crashed on a guard, gave up a 5, and it was lights out.
Yeah, kind of the classic first game of an event, and they just got in trouble and missed the wrong ones at the wrong time.
I agree. Yeah, let's not make sure there. I think we're okay.
Let's go right here.
It was 5.5 weeks
Back house is
between
good.
their last event
Straight on the back. Back
and
four.
the Brier for this
It's back four.
McEwen team, having not
Back four.
didn't have to go through their play downs.
Good.
But they did everything they possibly could do to prepare.
13:44.
Control.
Yeah, it's a blimp in the schedule, to be honest. You really want to get at least one, maybe two events in between that time. That's a long time in the middle of the winter to do no spieling.
Yeah, for Mike, it's the first time he's had that automatic berth into the Brier. Usually there's a provincial championship to play. You get some momentum, some confidence that way. So they had some more training weekends. Mike's the only one that doesn't live in Saskatoon. He's in Winnipeg. So he goes in and they practice the Newtown Curling Club, get everyone on the same page. And he said try to feel some momentum just from having really good team training. And he feels it's the chemistry on that team that just really bolsters his own confidence and his play.
And hangs it on the edge.
Should be straight out here.
There is less pressure, though, he says. Obviously playing in Regina last year. And looking to end that streak since 1980 in Rick Folk.
There's no reason why they can't. They got a taste of it last year, and they pushed Gucci right to the limit. And if they get that far on Sunday, they'll have to have some confidence from that experience.
Yep. Hard. Hard. You got to go. Clean. Clean.
Right to it. Yep.
So Kevin Marsh goes into the house to hold the brush. Daniel and Colton Flash on the brush and will blank the first. Prospera Place last year celebrated 25 years, opening in 1999. And our home for this year's Montana's Brier as we welcome you back on this Tuesday, or rather Monday afternoon, getting ahead of myself. And our featured game is McEwen against Asselin. We blank the first. So once again, it is Mike McEwen from the Nutana in Saskatoon with Last Rock. He has the hammer playing the Redstones.
Girl! Back 12. Keep going, Kev. Keep going. Keep going. Go.
Beauty of directional brushing.
Shot. Very nice.
Kevin brought that over a long way. Looked like he was going to tick it and roll maybe through.
Sweep.
C'est la bonne, est correct.
Correct.
Control, sure.
Yeah. Good weight.
Yep.
Straight.
Yep. Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Straight.
Yep.
Straight.
Yeah!
Straight.
Yeah!
Stepanier and Asselin, and a roll underneath. No, and they'll spin it to the back.
Almost wouldn't sweep it from Mike.
A little hang on. There's that corner to
It's correct?
Yeah.
get around. That first update, and we'll drop in on the game between Prince Edward Island and Tyler Smith against Brad Jacobs out of the Glencoe in Calgary.
Well, Tyler faced 2 on his first. He hit and stuck. Brad Jacobs did the same. But in going after it the second time, Tyler hit and rolled out. And so that allows the draw for 2 for Brad Jacobs.
Be easy. I think you're cleaning it.
Weight's good.
Yep. Whoa.
We talked about
Weight's good.
the big score for this team yesterday, 20 points. And for the Jacobs team, they went after their opponent like they were any of the top teams, trying to manufacture points, as you will need to later in the week. And there's a 2 to start.
Says it's still a work in progress, of course, having joined the team.
I think so.
That's where you see the reasoning behind that aggressive play yesterday.
Yes.
You can't just run up and down the sheet and play a bunch of takeouts for an evening. They had the bye in the morning. Their only time on the ice was last night, so they mixed it up. They got rocks in play and obviously executed very well.
And it was a record-setting score since the era of the playoffs in 1980.
That's exactly what you have to do. You have to stay as sharp as you can. You throw the different weights, different spots, figure out what the frost is doing out wide, figure out the stones, and they're ready for the when they go to play a very, very talented top team.
Felix.
Wait. Close.
Whoa!
Line's good.
Whoa!
Line's good.
We haven't heard much from him.
Gotta go.
You always know when Martin's on the ice.
I just love this team from Quebec. You know, they don't tour as much as some of the elites, but they just love the sport so much, and they're proud to have that.
Weight's good. We're there.
Represent Quebec, I should say, and they just give it their all in every single shot. It's nice to watch.
Yeah, the intensity is really impressive.
Good shot.
Okay, not bad.
Good.
Yeah.
Freeze.
Good shot.
Gonna freeze, sir.
All right, Kathy, get us up to date, please.
Well, you saw the Jacobs end, and it was a free blank for Ryland Kleider, nothing in play. And Ontario, Sam Moybrook forced to draw to the 4-foot against 3 in that first end against a very tough Yukon team.
I watched Sam Moybrook after their loss last night. He sat at the coach's table with his coach, Jake Higgs, for a long, long time, and you could just, from the hand signals, if you remember that one out there, remember this one here too. The ice was a little bit different, and you could just, and he was just drinking it all in as he relived those shots.
You talk about being a student of the game and trying to learn from every single thing out there, and that's something that you get from that whole team from Ontario. Is they're really going to work this week.
How much handle here this could bust.
Pretty good, Jim.
To sit the 2.
Very nice.
Hard to believe you got that one guard up there. Those stones were at the back edge of the 12, and look what they've piled in there.
Yeah, you got a good idea here, Flats?
It's some great shot making. It tells you how good the surface is too. What do you do with this one, Joe?
And just try to get on the corner of it, maybe tap it back a little bit.
A little hot.
Yep.
Really? A little big.
A lot of rocks down this path.
Well done.
Should be
Back 4.
really quick.
Back 4.
Colton Flash.
Coming down here. Whoa. Yep. Gotta go. Close. Gotta go now. Gotta go. Hard.
Please, kid.
Gotta hold the line.
Come on, kid.
Hard. It's good. Hard. 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 Hard.
If they can hold it for him.
Nice shot.
Oh, man, is that a beauty.
They're so tricky. Perfect line, perfect weight.
And the reason you can make those kind of shots is because the ice has really become very good. It's not that it was bad, but that at times, the first 3 days, it was a little bit frosty. You don't see any of that white at the moment, albeit, we're just in the second end.
Yeah, hats off to Greg Owasco and team, the two Merklingers here. They got the cream of the crop, and they've had to, with the dehumidification, bringing that equipment in. And I don't think anybody realizes what these guys, the hoops they jump through to make this stuff perfect. And here's a wonderful example here. This was late last night, right here. 61.4 humidity. That's off the charts, and it also ended up in the corners if you look. So because of the draft, the corners. So ice 1 at the home end, ice 4 at our far end. It got so frosty. We saw it on our graphic earlier this morning. We're down to 37 humidity, from 61 to 37. That's why we don't see the frost. That's why you see shots like that.
And there you see some of the ductwork that was brought in. I mean, you think about the... We were thinking you could sell tickets, Kathy, and just make that a great...
A ride.
A ride. Slide right to outside. But they're all dotted around the arena. Some of the exits are closed off, and they've got 4 tubes, some taking in air, some blowing back the drier air.
And it was noticeable this morning, Vic, but they got the 4th and final one installed during the morning draw. And so now everything in play, and it was a just a huge operation. Tons of volunteers to hang them underneath so the curlers aren't tripping on them. They laid new carpet because of the dirt that came in on those. So it wasn't just one thing. It has been a mammoth exercise, but we're already seeing the difference on the ice.
Yep, I like it.
I like that. T-line?
Yeah. Okay, what are you thinking about similar weight?
Now, I don't know if the draft pulling in the air affected that gentleman, but I'm just saying. As you can see, just there, the ties.
That looks nice to me.
That is much different.
I like cleaning it. Looks pretty good.
Great job by everybody, and I tell you, when we say working, they were going.
You're going to get by the guard.
As soon as those dehumidifiers arrived yesterday afternoon.
Mine's great.
Had to work before it, Vic. There's just 3.5 days of 24 hours to get this surface the way it is. Turn it from a hockey rink, get it level, put the logos in, the paint, the lines, bumpers, carpet, you name it.
The thing is, too, let's go back to Thunder Bay, Joe, and ultimately Rachel Homan won. But she said her game was compromised because of the ice at times. She didn't get the kind of finish. Now, the ice here for many was a little bit of a compromise and an equalizer. The better teams, you would think, now will benefit by this ice.
Yeah, and it's just from consistency. When the frost creeps in, obviously both teams have to play on the same surface. So whichever team figures it out first will have the edge. But there's times when that got so frosty, it was just a wild guess. And when things are a wild guess, that's when you see the big misses, the uncharacteristic stuff. Now that the humidity is at the appropriate level, we'll see consistent ice conditions. All the teams will see the trends, and the play will improve.
Just go to Jim.
At the end of the day, that's the goal, because we're trying to get our best representative to represent us at the World Championship.
On va l'envoyer 2 shots.
Quel weight, Thibault?
Okay, control up.
Control up.
See, there's an indication, I think, Kathy, of what we said.
Yep.
It's his team. It's Menard's team, and I want you to play this.
And he was very clear the only way that Jean-Michel was prepared to come onto this team and move to Skip was if they would let him call. He said it can't be a communal thing, and so they give way to him.
Cadet Trepanier. Can you get the roll over now? And look at that. And listen to the skipper.
Good.
Wow. Peaking a little bit, maybe half a rock on that outturn side.
But kick the frozen Quebec rock tighter to the center line. Watch the contact, the second yellow here. It kicks to the left, just enough.
Yeah, Saskatchewan was sitting 2 before Felix went to throw, and now Quebec has first and second.
And corner frozen and buried. Really good shot.
On a déjà pris beaucoup de temps. Non, c'est pas super. Non.
Back 12. I like this. You miss that double, you're in big heat.
Back 12. Okay, down basically.
Yeah, probably a little
I
less.
can see a good chunk of it, eh?
Yeah. And now that it's less frosty out there,
Kind of same shot.
it's still lots of curl, but you won't quite see the huge swing at the end. So that actually, it forces the curlers to be more precise. These back 12s, if it's any bit overthrown, won't get that curl and makes these chases a lot harder. The weight has to be perfect to get that finish at the end.
All right, but there is a double, somebody said, that may be available. Is that not a shot, Russ?
No, because I think I guess you could play it to get the buried one. It might be easier to get this one out, but the other yellow, the one you hit first, is going to jam.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Coming out.
McEwen.
Whoa. Curl.
And his first. Here we go. Daniel Marsh now trying to dig this out and sit right there. And he'll push it back far enough. Actually, maybe a little turn, showing a little more.
Just a pinch heavy.
Yeah.
McEwen's one of the best teams at not even worrying about the enemy rocks getting through the rings. It was all about controlling the cue ball, and the lighter they throw that, the more curler we're going to get past the guard.
Let's go.
Just pretty patient there.
Yeah. Good call.
Une rush à droite, Jim, il n'y a pas de double.
But to your point, Joe, it's a little less frost, a little less curl, and they didn't quite get the finish they expected.
Yeah, still plenty of movement. Just it was almost putting on the blinker in the first few days and taking huge. They were going more sideways than forwards on some of them early in the game in those fresh lines.
No, it's good.
Je sais, mais faut pas rouler d'une roche de même puis donner ça.
Encore le roll, puis si elle curl au nez, c'est bon. OK, quel weight? Bon.
Nose is good, they say.
Yeah.
And they will be sitting 2. You don't need to roll underneath here, Joe?
No, rolling underneath might leave a double off the yellow.
Okay. Final stone for Quebec. And Felix. Asselin.
Board up.
Straight.
Yep.
Whoa.
Pet.
Straight.
Yep. Straight.
Trying to keep it off that guard as it started to make its move. Really making it smooth. Big save. Did. And will flip underneath, and it is socked in there.
Boy, that was hard to do.
Yeah, good shot. Good shot. What? In between. All right.
Perfect weight.
You line?
Dead on would have worked too, because I think if McEwen hit it, he might not have been shot. Now there's a draw path. How do you get this much roll? Oh.
Okay. We're gonna take it.
12.
These are the shots with such great sweeping. Mike just has to think top 12, and the sweepers will do the rest.
Similar to draw the button in this spot.
Yeah, I think that if I'm in that range, it should be sweepable.
Really close. Yeah.
So early pressure here on Mike McEwen. Needs a bite of the 4.
Not quite heavy.
And the word is heavy.
Line's fine.
Daniel Marsh, Colton Flash, nothing yet.
Need a touch. Fine. Close. I need a touch. No, need a rub. Need a rub.
You're going to need something here to slow it down. Rub something. And no rub. And back it goes. And finally settles. And that one, by that little bit, will be a steel point. Quebec here in the second. Monday afternoon, day 4 coverage of the Montana's Brier from Kelowna, BC. Keeping our eye on things so you can keep your eye on it from home. And a couple of very nice shots. Actually, well played in by both, and just the one mistake, the heavy draw by McEwen, results in a steal of one by Quebec. And the team from, let's see, Glenmore, Valleyfield, Etchemin, Descollines, and Belvedere curling clubs in Quebec. So they lead at 1-0. Welcome back, Saskatchewan, once again with Last Rock. They have the hammer playing the Redstone.
Just a little.
By the time you get through all the clubs, the game's over.
That's right.
More clubs than players.
I agree. Just too much ice.
Edge to edge.
Definitely a little less curl. You heard them say too much ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's such a consistent curl. It's not, nobody's going to complain that it's down to maybe 5 feet.
Yeah, and especially the last few days, you could take an extra 3 inches and just carve it over as long as the wave was fine. Now they have to be a little bit more precise. You do end up having a bit of, you have to have a short memory and kind of forget about it. Even the releases, you can't be crazy straight with it anymore. It just has to be a little bit less aggressive.
And that's what happened, Joe, in our feature game this morning for Matt Dunstone. They got caught a little bit early, just throwing as they had been for the last 3 days and calling as they had, and it hurt them.
Shouldn't do much for you, as usual.
Yep. Whoa.
Oh.
Yep. No. No.
Yes. Oh, I don't know what you're saying.
Yep. Play. No. Other way.
1-0 Ontario leading the team from Whitehorse.
And Scoffin being forced in this end. He made a really nice hit and roll underneath on his first, but Sam Moybrook ran one of his own on an angle in, and that is why Ontario currently lies 2. So for Thomas, looking for the 4-foot.
Draw's not necessarily his strength, just 67% in the event so far.
Okay, we're good.
And to that, he says, really, Victor?
Yeah. Throw away the numbers.
Nicely done.
Go.
Left to port here. There's what we talk about all the time. That's 2 feet heavier. It didn't have to be wider or narrower, just 2 feet heavier, and it's perfect.
Should run nice too again, eh? Like, should be okay for speed in here.
After they blanked the first, Saskatchewan got something going, Kleider?
Well, a huge momentum shift. Rylan Kleider hit and rolled out on his first, and that allowed Aaron Bartling a chance to hit to line 3, but he ticked a guard. And so for Rylan, trying to throw up weight, double the 2 stones belonging to the Northwest Territories, out for 3.
Good.
And will not catch the back one, but good for 2.
That's just the second time that the Kleider team has converted, scoring 2 or more with Last Rock in the event. That's something that's got to improve, you would think.
Yeah, from what I've seen, they're playing very defensively, which, you know, first Brier, so young, you can't argue with that, but I think that's why they're not generating points.
Je pense que Sullivan est meilleur, parce qu'on va pouvoir se servir de cette garde-là. On a un garde de centre.
Bon comme glace? C'est bon.
Well, last year, Tyler Smith was 1 game away from going to the playoffs, but he is winless so far.
And it has been a bit of a struggle. Brad Jacobs did make a run on his first and wound up spreading his 2 stones out. So no double for Tyler. He's trying to hit and roll in for the single.
Easy. Right in the middle of the hole.
Period.
Wow, very nice. And his hitting game has been good, 83%, and that results in a single.
Thanks.
Either that or there.
I don't know if I want to go here.
No, it's either that or over there.
It's got a lot to roll behind.
I know. I don't mind this.
Oh, turn around this way.
Still think over there?
I'm good with it through the hole, too. You can just overhook it here. It's pretty good.
Well, it'd be hard not to be honest.
I agree. It should be good then.
Like you might just sit open.
If it's frozen on it, it's fine. I don't think it'll curl that much.
Okay.
That's,
As I'm only top 12.
not quite sure why they have to put these two right together.
Yeah, looks like it.
The hitting ability of all these teams.
Yeah, they talked about going to the open side. Just the concern being, if it's only on the tee line, for example, there's a lot of room to roll to and sit shot behind cover. You'd have to take it all the way to the back 8, back 12 area. This port is not the easiest to navigate here.
No, not at all.
Gotta go hard. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Really light. Yep, go, yep.
Curl,
Whoa, whoa,
curl.
whoa.
Sit. Okay.
Good call by Mike to let it curl over and guard, with that yellow guard guarding the red to their own red.
Just the shooter rolled off a little too far. That center line guard is now a little bit overlapped with the red one in front of it. So if Quebec can get one buried here, it's not an easy situation for Saskatchewan trying to score there too.
And then it's also their Quebec stone center line will guard it.
Yeah, that's right, Vic. Even if it can be raised, it's the wrong color for McEwen. It's amazing at this level when there's so many rocks in play that one half shot, that run back that doesn't connect with on the right side of a rock. All of a sudden you look down and go, whoops, what happened? And here's a wonderful opportunity here. Slow handle here. This should hook.
There it goes.
Cavanier and Crit.
Good.
It's the old school release, eh? A little less rotation. And
Yeah, and that was really catching Jean-Michel, at least in their opening draw. His rocks were just curling like crazy. You couldn't stop it once it started to go. But now that things have settled down a bit, takes a bit of extra ice and it loops right in there.
now it's a weapon, isn't it?
See, watch this. Well past that guard, like a foot of room, and it is completely buried at the end here. It's sideways more than forwards almost.
Looks almost as if it's lost a hand.
That's the only negative. Any less rotation out of his hand, it's not going to. It could go the other way.
Golden flash. Kevin Daniels on the left. Here we go. You coming through? Oh, he did. How did you squeeze that through there? And now can they push it through and back far enough? And I don't think they did. I think they are second shot. Quebec. Shot Rock is the shooter. Just back of the tee line, pulling the 8.
Oh, what a beauty.
Yeah, still got the job done.
Keep going. Curl, gotta go now. Hard, yeah. Hard, Dan, hard. Top 4.
Okay.
Full 8.
Are we just 2 maybe?
He's over there, yeah.
Are we 2 or no?
I don't know.
Really close.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye on this one. This should have more rotation. No question.
Skip Stones here in 3.
Yeah, correct.
The line's good.
Yep.
Straight.
Felix Asselin.
Straight.
Cret.
Straight.
Absolutely not heavy here.
Cavanier.
Get a bounce. Yep, get a bounce.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay, Felix.
All right.
Yeah, but where exactly? Like right here? He's gonna throw the run on us, but
No, but like
be
to make
careful,
if you
though.
make it, then this one shot. Shoot.
well, no, like he might. If I could put it here for him, look at me.
Sorry,
Even
yeah.
partially open, Mike.
Well, but even if I put it right here, he throws a run to make that jams.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous for him.
Very dangerous, yeah.
Oh, I
He's
see.
going to freeze, likely, and try to hold us to be a hard draw for 2, right?
I don't think I'm playing anything else anyways.
No, that's all we have. If we make it good, he's going to freeze.
Like I
and
can
we'll
hit
have to try
this.
to draw for 2
I can
somehow.
hit this, he draws, and I play the runner for 4.
I know.
It's the other option, yeah.
That's
like
the other
this.
option.
I think we go right here. Yeah. You can just go.
We make this, he's freezing all day.
To the side curls.
I think Colton's onto something. You put it here. I don't think they're going to play the run back, Quebec, because if they ever miss the run back, you're giving up 4 points. So by going here,
If I knew I was going to make the runner,
Felix almost has to go here on top of it, and then you're guaranteed 1 draw for 2.
I like this. Just
The other option, Joanne, is hit the back one, and
nibble 4. Yeah, nibble 4.
once the come around's made by Quebec, as you have to assume it's going to be, you've got that angle raise from the Montana ribs off to the corner for a big score, but why take that risk?
Yeah, especially because another steal like that puts you down 2 if your team's Saskatchewan. And they haven't seen out that wide with peel weight since the ice conditions are less frosty, right? So I think if they had a good idea of how that was running, maybe they would take it on.
Yeah, good point. Play the scoreboard right. You're already down 1.
Wait, Owen. Room right now.
Really close.
If they get this in the right area code, they're guaranteed a minimum of 1.
Gotta go. Curl. Curl and go. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan.
Daniel.
Come on, Dan.
Get in there.
Trying to help it over.
Go, Dad. Go. You got to close it.
Oh, we're not there.
Good.
And they aren't there.
That's not bad. It's a better spot.
Pretty good. Okay, that's not bad. He's probably got to throw the intern.
Still blocks the draw path for Quebec. It's better there than being behind the T line.
C'est jamais elle qui est plus proche, plus facile.
Parle à lui.
You got to tap the yellow that Felix just threw.
Là aussi, je veux dire, si on a le bon angle, là, au proche, on roule devant elle, elle va être double gardée. Je l'aime, elle. C'est bon. OK. Back forward. La shot parfaite, c'est de l'envoyer ici. Si on est là, le trou, il va... Ouais.
La bonne nouvelle, on est deuxième.
Back forward.
Oui.
That's interesting.
J'aimerais ça qu'on soit première et
Felix
troisième.
went to go talk to the front end about what shot to play, and he said, "No, talk to Jean-Michel."
That's why you brought him on.
Yeah.
Peut-être un pad qu'on a moins joué, là, par exemple. Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit?
He's just saying it's probably in a path that hasn't been played as much. So for the top, you need at least kind of a back 8. You need to move this rock 12 feet or so.
Yes. Only real concern is if you go right by this one, tap that red open, and you expose your back one for a potential 4. But they're taking tight enough ice, I can't see that happening.
Final stone for Quebec. Now to the panier. Trying to play this tap. Here we go. Off of that one and spill it, not far enough.
Just a little over curl. Might have been a titch light.
Yes. A little bit of both. Now what do you do?
You know, I think they're obviously won. It's very close. My first thought was yellow. Second shot.
Coming through the hole's a little too dangerous. You don't want to reckon the yellow one.
Probably easier.
I like an 8.
With,
No, they're going to do it. They're going to go for it.
I like an 8, like right there.
Just so, yeah. What's up?
An 8 right through the hole.
Okay.
Dangerous, but rewarding.
I got your rock.
Straight through.
Just play the
Dead
red
on.
back onto the yellow.
That'd be safer. Harder, but safer. You could do that. I like your call. Play the red with like a back line, and you chip it in for 2. You ever hit a lot of this yellow to steal a 2?
Well,
There's not a lot of space through this port.
Probably not making it anyways. Right? Let's make it.
So again, this is where,
I like it.
before directional brushing, you don't take this on. It's risky even with directional brushing.
Yeah, because it doesn't have as much of an effect on a hit.
His last words, let's make it. Mike McEwen. Come through the hole for a possible 3.
Yep.
Here in this third, already down 1-0. Nothing flash yet. Nothing yet. Still nothing yet. All on its own. Oh, he got it through. My goodness, Mike McEwen. Magic Mike comes through for 3.
Unassisted too, Beck. That really.
Just a great throw.
Yeah, it's just right on. It's like clean.
Look how tight this port is as the rock comes through.
Impressive.
He wanted to play nothing else, and he made it. Mike McEwen, yes, for 3 to take the lead on this Monday afternoon at the Brier. Beautiful. Some people are already out sailing, plus 12 today. And this afternoon draw, we are on a 3-hour tour. Saskatchewan against Quebec. And what a shot by Mike McEwen. Wanted to play it, and it was, as you say, goal scored unassisted.
Yeah, well, that's the impressive part. You know, when you got Colton Flash, it makes some sense to play this. You didn't need him all by himself. Hat trick.
For 3. Key shot brought to you by BKT Tires. Growing together. Didn't touch a thing. Pretty. So we welcome you back. And we go to the 4th, and it's Quebec with the last rock. First time in the game here in the 4th. They have the Hammer playing the Yellowstone. Okay.
John, as you pointed out, 2 points up. McEwen, he throws 2 center guards, stacks them up the center, which just hurt him in this situation. But he's playing really aggressive without Hammer.
I think, having watched him now a couple of games in a row, it appears when he goes center line and the opposition goes corner guard, instead of coming around his center line guard, he puts up the second one. And I would say that's regardless of the score, because he did it last night after being very defensive against Muybrook. The score was a little tighter, so I thought, oh, he's just forcing the issue. But now he's up 2, so that just must be how they like to play it. If you come around that center line guard, opposition goes around their corner, looks like a little box on the screen,
right.
But then the opposition, Quebec in this case, would have their second point in the bag already.
Yeah. It's a dangerous play, though, because, you know, like if that had made paint, he's looking at 2-1 buried.
Yep.
Quebec's still got something going. If this is ever missed or hits or rolls out, they've got the corners. But they make so many shots, so many of these run backs that
big, I think,
they can get away with it.
Oh, heavy.
Yes.
Yep.
Kevin Marsh as we play second stones.
Yeah, since they're so strong at these runs, just like that, they can afford to junk it up early and just bail if they have to.
True.
Without Hammer, that's always so scary, but it is their strong suit.
Yeah. Board control.
All right, let's drop in on Prince Edward Island and Alberta's Jacobs.
Well, that red stone that you see just biting the back, that was Tyler Smith's final stone. It is shot. He did have one buried on Brad Jacobs first. He made a beautiful shot, just got by the front and chipped the PEI stone over, and so Tyler put it back in, looking to tap this stone back for a couple.
Clean! 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 Yep! Yep! Clean! Yep! 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 Hard, right to it! Right to it! Right to it! Great shot, Brad. Great shot. Good feet, Brad.
Even impressive to the rest of the team. You heard Mark Kennedy. Nice shot, Brad. For 2 more. Colton Flash.
Be a little big. Yeah. Whoa. A little big. Whoa. Whoa. Curl. Whoa, curl. Curl.
Kevin Marsh. And a points to
that was like normal.
Rob on the way by. Keeping you busy. Let's go Ontario against the Yukon.
Well, it really was generated on Thomas Scoffin's first. He was hitting against 2 and jammed on the Ontario stone, leaving Ontario shot, and they have traded stones. And so for Sam, if he's able to do the same thing as he did on his first, a nose hit would give him 2.
Moybrook and the team from the Whitby Curling Club. Scoffin, Yukon, the Whitehorse Curling Club.
Shot. No, you're good.
For 2.
Ça me dérange pas d'aller là. Yeah.
Plus que ça.
0,5.
Ouais. Tout dépend du release.
Ouais. Faut juste être full dans la maison pour battre ça.
OK.
Fait qu'on vise top 4 weight. Top bouton weight.
0,5 Jim. 10, ça le fait aussi. Let's go.
Talk about this team from Quebec. A lot of the top teams are trying to have their delivery is almost exactly the same. So the trajectory of their rock, it matches up to each other. They work really hard on that so that they can read the ice faster. This team from Quebec does not prioritize that whatsoever. They've got 4 different looking deliveries. There's a tuck, there's Felix with the stabilizer, there's Martin Kretz is kind of more classic, and then JM is a little bit crooked on an angle. So they all have a little bit different trajectories, and you saw when he went down to the other end for this come around, he asked for about 6 inches extra ice because of how he slides out and how he releases it. They just kind of ice and throw it to make it.
They can help each other. The skip can really assist the team by figuring out those releases.
The thing is that if Felix has to make the same draw, where do you put the broom? And that's something that it's just a little bit harder to execute.
Yeah, I mean, when they first got together, it was about building a team, right? And worrying about the technical later.
Exactly.
A little hot, eh? Yeah, a little heavy.
You can wait.
No, we're okay.
Line's tight. Line's tight. Line! Line!
All right, Saskatchewan against the team from Hay River.
Well, this is a really tough shot. He's trying to navigate that port. Ryland just playing the raise on his final stone. That is the shot stone, but he also lies 2 and 3. And so does need to navigate that hole and stick the shooter.
Aaron Bartling, first ever Hay River team to qualify, and no. And that will be 1 and 2, and it looks like 3.
It is for sure.
So close.
First ever Hay River team to represent the territory at the Brier.
Ouais, on peut y aller normal. Je pense qu'on a la marge de manœuvre. Je propose, là.
Frappez rouge, roulez!
Je pense que ça va nous donner une meilleure chance de 2.
Okay. Vas-y, control! Out turn? Oui, ben, oui.
Yeah, first call was the come around, but I think this is smart. You play a hit and roll, sit second and third, open up shot stone. Gives Team Quebec a better chance at scoring that multiple.
100%. They can't get to that back one right now without moving something.
Yes!
It keeps them from narrowing down their scoring area.
Yes! Yes! Hard, hard.
Jean-Michel Menard, his second.
Whoa!
And where will this roll?
Yep.
Perfect.
Maybe get it over underneath there on the corner. Look at that. They've got 2 under that corner.
Oh.
Is that ever good? Wow.
Brilliant.
Good spot.
Good shot. T'avais-tu l'intention de rouler jusque-là? Ben, à la fin, c'est... Oui, à la fin, oui. En plus, on avait un bon weight.
Really good roll. I watched this in Thunder Bay at the Scotties. The teams that aren't confident are playing a run back in this situation, trying to kill those enemy rocks. The teams that have the belief, in this case McEwen, he's just going to forget it. Forget those 2. I'm going to sink another one, make you throw a hard shot.
Yeah, and they've seen this line in Colton's that went back 8, so they'll have a good idea of how it will run. Just needs to be fully buried and outcount the ones in the 12-foot.
Don't overbury it.
Yeah, that's the risk. Overburied might leave a double for Quebec to sit a bundle.
Mike was a couple feet heavy a little while back. He can't do that here, or he could set up that double.
Top 8's good.
A little bit of room.
Line's good.
Line's good.
Curl! 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 Come on, Dad, get in there!
Come on, Dad.
Right in there, Dad! Don't stop!
Got enough?
Don't stop.
Can you
Keep
drag
going.
it enough? Oh, they did. And underneath.
Just have to do it again.
Go, Mike. Yep.
Shot. Should have sweep the whole way is the issue.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, to Colton's point, Mike wasn't going to overthrow that, but they had to sweep it the whole way so that they couldn't let it curl for any period of time, just knowing the tolerance there.
J'ai pas l'impression que j'ai le choix. Ben, moi, je pense
You can dig that out of there and roll again, but you're not going to make the double, obviously. Very lonely red, though. They can do this.
Si on fait ça ici...
Pas besoin de rouler caché, au contraire. On va te forcer à
Je
faire
pense
les
que je fais ça, ça. Je l'aime, le take-out. OK. Avec, ça se fait-tu avec contrôle? Non. Bumper, d'abord. Ça se fait avec bumper, là. Bump?
C'est quoi l'achat?
C'est le double, le cheap double.
Cheap double?
Non, mais de par-dessus, là.
OK.
It's kind of queued up that if you can make this very difficult chase, kill that top rock, you could roll buried again.
Comment?
Un tiers.
OK.
Don't think you can throw enough weight to make a double.
All right.
You might catch it on the way by.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said, you can't throw it very hard.
This is Quebec's absolute best chance of the game so far.
Straight! Yep. Whoa!
Il est très positif.
Whoa!
Straight!
Straight!
Felix Asselin.
Straight!
Can they keep it off this guard? Can you keep it off that guard? Yes, you can. Oh, and then the stuff at the back is a bad break. Leaves the
Cool, Curly.
Saskatchewan team still sitting the one back edge of the 4.
You know, he hits that thinner, he does make the double. He had a ton of weight on that and slivered the guard.
And he's got to play a super hard one.
Oh, yeah, that's thin.
Super thin, right in the nose. He might
roll away.
No, nose is perfect.
Nose is perfect,
Nose
Ken.
is perfect.
That slash is less than a quarter.
Board on the nose?
Yeah, this seems pretty manageable, eh?
Yeah.
Could roll a foot left or so, but you roll a couple feet left, it's a wide open hit for 3s. The audible here, I'm guessing, Joanne, would be listen narrow, roll buried.
Yep.
Board on the nose.
It's a really good indication of how much straighter it is on these hits. Board weight with like 2 inches of ice. You could say that's manageable, though. That's the amount of weight that will still get a bit of finish.
Yep. Good.
Whoa.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Clean.
Whoa. Yep.
Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa.
Yep.
Flash.
Whoa.
Final stone for
Whoa. Yep.
McEwen.
Whoa. Yep.
Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa. Perfect.
Shot.
How about Mike?
Perfect. It's ultra thin.
Huh?
It's ultra thin.
There's no one's taking that on. There's no way he's taking that on.
Well, you can if you want.
Still a 2.
The easiest way to get that one there and hold your shooters on the inside, and that goes right there, so you can't do that. So the only other option is to take the paint off it at 100 miles an hour, hope you get lucky, make the double, and you still might jam over here. So I don't think Quebec can take on that double one way or the other. Good rock positioning.
Yeah, and ultimately just too risky. If you just catch one, you give up a steal. Trailing by 3 after 4 ends that's a big hole to come back from against a team like Saskatchewan that's so strong with their hits.
Well, you'd bet on him making this then.
No kidding. Especially today, the surface is perfect.
Go ready. Good weight.
No, good.
Good weight. Still good.
Foot back in.
Non.
On est juste correct.
T9.
Non.
Bonnet.
Oui, mais Max.
Good shot. Really good.
Very good. Again, all on its own. 3-2. McEwen leads it. It is Monday afternoon here in Kelowna, and our continuing coverage of the Montana's Brier. Teams in Pool B are featured. The only team not on the ice, Owen Purcell. With a record of 1-2 out of the Halifax Curling Club. We've got a good one going here with Mike McEwen, last year's runner-up out of the Nutana in Saskatoon, coming in with 3 straight wins against Quebec's Felix Asselin with Jean-Michel Menard skipping the team at 2-1. Go to the 5th after a very nice draw by Asselin. It is McEwen with Last Rock, has the hammer, playing the red star.
A little heavier.
Well then.
Whoa.
Now that's a better number for somebody that
Yes.
said has to be better.
Yeah.
Straight.
Plus his brother's at 100.
Whoa, should be good.
It's not killing it, but it's
No.
just.
I was just trying to hit it and not push it in.
Yeah.
Oh, you really good.
That.
You don't see a lot of ticks anymore with the no-tick rule. Rock being on the center line, you cannot move it, but both of those guards were not on the center line, and really well executed ticks.
No kidding.
By Dan Marsh.
Loves the game.
Airtight.
Martin, 12th Brier now for him. And you think about playing with Asselin, Michael Fournier. He was playing, of course, with Jean-Michel Menard. And a skip himself back in 19, went 3 and 4 in Brandon.
Okay. Oh. This guy's guard. Okay.
Roll in.
Hey, Mike.
I make this roll.
Couldn't sneak it by.
Yeah. Roll behind that yellow over there.
All right, an update for you. Ontario Moybrook against Scoffin.
Well, this intern hole is really tough. We did the feature game this morning on it. Sam went through to get to the 4-foot, and then Thomas Scoffin tried to follow. He wound up on the guards. Sam went in again. So it is 4 that Thomas Scoffin faces, and 2 of them locked in the 4-foot.
5th Brier appearance, 2 and 6 a year ago in Regina.
Yes. Hard. Roll it.
Settle down. And it won't roll far enough. So 1 and 2.
I think it's 2.
Super try, though.
Yeah.
Get blank. Just the weight. Line's good.
Line's good.
What's he?
Line's good.
Stop it. Okay. Whoa, Felix.
Okay. Good.
Got a second try, and then it'll pop out the other side.
Yeah. Okay, this is.
Yeah, Quebec just getting a little bit more finish on their rocks compared to Saskatchewan. They need to have like 6 inches of space coming around a guard.
Yeah, that rotation.
Just comes out the other side if they're too tight to it.
Yeah, should run nice and true straight at the start.
Kevin Marsh.
Yep. Little light. Yep.
Perfect so far.
Whoa. Weight's good. Yep. Weight's good. Little light. Whoa. Yep. Weight's good. Hard. Weight's good. Hard. It's a sliver light. Sliver light. Hard. All good then.
Shoot.
And we'll sit right there.
I'm so bored there. Sorry.
McEwen tries really hard on every shot to get to the edge on edge or get to the inside so the opponent can't roll buried. He didn't quite do it there. It was tough to do. But for obvious reasons, now Quebec, they've got a chance to roll underneath, and it's a tough shot for McEwen.
Mark.
Whoa.
That's push.
Whoa.
Mark.
Curl. Boy. Really got a curl. Heavy. Let's get around that.
Oh, dear. Really? Wow. Cute.
There's not much room there.
Hey, goes everywhere.
Yeah, I think we've seen that pass. You can actually throw it at the end, too, if you want. They've thrown the yard. I like following that. Okay.
Right here? Yeah.
14-8 on theirs, guys. So.
Okay, top 8. As long as I slide like I have.
It's so cute. Just an unexpected miss from Jean-Michel rolling out high side. This is a great opportunity for Colton Flash to get it.
Yeah, a little hot right now.
Get one sunk behind this guard off center.
Room. Top 4.
McEwen with last rock. We're in 5 and leading by 1.
Top 4.
Top 4. Wait's good, Mike.
It's got a curl.
It's really got a curl.
When you can.
Top 4, though.
Right here.
Go,
Curl.
no, it's a curl.
Yep. Got a curl, guys. Hit it. Yep. Good.
Nice
shot. Perfect spot.
It's amazing how it'll finish up where you want it if you throw the right speed. Really good throw.
All right, double.
Oh, run back now, are they?
Yeah,
On
just
l'essaie en roulant à l'intérieur.
the guard is pretty tight to the rings. The rock is top 8 foot.
Parfait.
Attention, celle en arrière.
Yeah, I don't think you can get that out any other way.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough time for the rock to curl past the guard. He'd have to throw it pretty hard to push that rock about 8 feet to kill it.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Whoa.
Curl. Curl.
Jean-Michel Menard. Montaigne Cadet. Here we go. Bang, bang, and
Judge
look at that.
Really good. Good toss, buddy.
Quel beau sur le pain.
Hey, good pitch. Au bord, finalement.
Doesn't have to even get dead buried.
World Wheelchair Championships being played in Stirling, Scotland, and it was a disappointing morning for Team Canada as they lost to South Korea, but then they bounced back with a 9-2 win over Latvia, so their record now 3-2. To your point,
I'm good.
one of your keys, or when we came on the air, that you thought that Quebec needed to play a little more conservatively, are they?
Yeah, I really do think they are, and they're bailing out when they have to. There hasn't been too many races to the center, so it's been a little bit different strategy because of McEwen's thought process. Menard made a beauty there because now, if you play the run back, you're running back your color.
Run back, la noter. Oui. C'est ici. Normal. C'est normal.
Non. Normal?
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have simplified. The only reason that McEwen has an opportunity here is because Jean-Michel rolled out high side on his hit. If he'd rolled under, McEwen's probably playing the run back, or they're trying to come around everything and the rings get a little narrow.
That's such a teaching point. Just hit and stay. Don't roll out.
14-3 on his first.
I could just tell it was kind of...
Once Quebec rolled out, they've been in trouble ever since here.
Normal.
Whoa.
Oh.
Rush. Whoa. Curl. Straight. Straight. Straight.
Hard jet. Hard jet.
Yes.
Yep.
You
Really
didn't
good.
think that had a chance?
Bon lancer, Félix. Really good,
His
man.
63, though, is his low game of the event. His previous low was 78.
Yeah, he's had a few over curls by a pretty decent margin. He's getting a bit more movement on his rocks than he expects.
Wow.
And I would think that comes from Jean-Michel throws very little handle, so they watch his rocks curl a lot, and Felix throws quite a bit of rotation, but I don't think he sets it with that rotation, so they expect it to run straighter, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's tricky to get it just right.
We could go around the corner and make a place.
Fight the four.
Could.
Yeah.
I don't think he can place it anywhere where he can't chase it unless he gets it perfect top
Going
8.
in the corner, I'm only just in the 12.
It's
If he
just
draws.
it's hard to put it. I don't know how to put it over there, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, I know. Me neither.
Even like this way, chase it.
You could even go open here.
Yeah.
So nibble the 4 foot?
Get your blank, guarantee your blank.
Yeah, exactly.
One up with playing 6. The worry here is if they, obviously behind the tee line's a disaster. If you go high, too high, like top 12 buried, it's just a guard. Ice like this.
He can be top 4. Did he bite the 4? Felix might have to try that run back again, and it's getting harder and harder because with each time it's getting higher and further away from the rings.
Line's good. Curl.
Top 4.
Curl. Line's good, Kev. Curl.
Line's great. Straight.
Curl.
It's just
Clean.
straight. Gotta go wing.
Clean. Whoa, whoa.
That's good. Piece open on that side's okay.
Good spot.
I like
Okay,
that.
Russ. Why is it okay on that side, showing that intern side?
That's a good spot,
Well,
guys. I agree.
I think you'd rather have them chase it than play the run back, because the run back you might be able to hit it and still be dead buried. If they chase it, they're going to at least roll open. You get the blank end.
There's a chase.
There's no way Felix can tap that out on the intern and be buried unless he gets over to that corner rock.
Pense c'est le run back encore. Peut jouer le même weight.
You have to be thinking all the time with the talent out here. If that was perfectly buried and the run back's perfectly made, it's buried. I thought they'd chase this. This could be missed.
Yeah, it's bigger distance. The guard's a little higher from the previous nose hit, and this rock is deeper in the house.
Made it with its first.
Yes.
Felix Asselin, final stone for Quebec here in 5. Right now it is. McEwen's hitting the one. Trepanier trying to hold this up now. Watch that center line, keeping it straight. Oh, not this time. It overcurled on him.
Yeah, but the sounds of the brushing, it jumped quicker than they thought. I thought he coming out, he's a hair lighter and then a little wider, and they waited too long. But that's the problem with that shot.
Good. I just wanted to ask
you were never sticking that dead buried, I don't believe, because there was a bit of an angle. So the best you're going to get is a blank. Why take that on, Joanne? I thought they could have chased that a lot easier.
And held them to a single, possibly.
Or a blank. But two's a huge problem now.
The hair solid. Definitely more, but just clean. Yeah, oh yeah.
And then go clean it.
It's that kind of a shot, too. You know, when you look at Asselin's eyes, the one you're going to remember if you don't win this game.
How true.
Yep.
Anywhere in the paint.
Gotta go. It's good.
And there it is. McEwen with a couple to extend the lead, trying to win 4 in a row here at the Montana's Brier. We are in Kelowna, in the heart of the Okanagan, for this year's Montana's Brier. Halfway through, McEwen leads it over Quebec as they chat with their coach, Pat Simmons, the winner of the 15 Brier Championship. Let's check the numbers after 5.
Now, McEwen may have the lead, but Quebec got a steal in the second end after Felix made a beautiful hit and roll, and Mike not able to hit the forefoot to take his single, but he made up for it in that third end, navigating a very tight port to score his 3. The struggle being for Felix Asselin, that draw weight has been elusive. He's having a lot of problems with the overcurl.
Yeah, look at the numbers. Just 60%, 33% of his draws. After 5, brought to you by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. As they huddle with Pierre Charette, those 2 wonderful years, silver medalists at the Brier with Guy Hemmings in 98 and 99. And now, of course, the coach of the Swiss team, Savannah Tierenson.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By Home Hardware, here's how. By Scotties, Canada's #1 facial tissue brand. And by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
We know we have the talent to go and win this event. You know, at every position, we have very skilled players. But I would say just staying in the moment, you know, the classic, you know, 1 game at a time, but just enjoying it. Like, the pressure's off of us, especially because we're not expected to win this thing, but I know we have the talent to do so.
I think it really just comes down to playing our game and playing up to our capabilities. I think we have all the talent we need to win, but at an event like this, you do need some things to go your way. You need a break or 2, so you have to have luck on your side as well.
And this is our feature tonight when we join you 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Reed Carruthers, my goodness. Out of the Granite Winnipeg, 4 straight wins. As he says, just flying under that proverbial radar. And Brad Goucher, defending champion at 3-0, did not play this morning, so this will be his only game of the day. 2 undefeated teams, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. On this Monday, we welcome you back to Kelowna. Continuing coverage, the Montana's Brier. We go to the 6th in our feature game, and you wonder about the decision to play the run back now, don't you? As Quebec failed to run it back, now trailing by 3, although they do have last drop now here in 6, playing the Yellowstones.
Yeah, I guess in fairness, the intern
I thought we were okay, but
hit it out, tap it out chase was not a gimme either. But the problem with those run backs is you only have to be, what, 3/4 of an inch off perfection from that distance, and you're not making contact, and then you've handed them a 2. You might as well go put the score up because McEwen's going to make that.
He knew he had to throw less, but I hope he knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's quick.
Yeah. Sure.
Not where they wanted that one, Joanne. A little deep.
No, and you know, usually the lead has a mismatched pair and might just have gotten caught in the speeds. If you have a straight rock, usually it runs a little faster, and especially after that fifth end break, there's a mop, and typically the first 4 rocks of the end, maybe 6 rocks, run a little bit better. Just got a little caught. That could be trouble for Team McEwen. Couple of nice corner guards, perfectly even for Team Quebec.
You bet, Jeff.
Yeah. Positive, it's quick, Kev. Like, it's high 14s feel.
Yeah, it's 14.5 to tee right now.
A little too much.
Kevin Marsh.
Still the much. A little much right now. It's okay. Like, it's okay. It'll curl lots here.
Tee line at least, I think.
13.9.
Well, yeah, it's not good.
This is interesting. With all the frost in the last few days, the mop probably didn't speed anything up. I think it is now, though.
Yeah, no question. Look at those. All 3 of them too heavy, to be honest.
Back 4.
Back 4. All right.
Kathy, we haven't heard from you for a while.
I know. I'm busy doing the shoot ride there. The humidifiers. Well, for Brad Jacobs was forced in the last end. Tyler Smith lying 2, and so Brad drew to the 8-foot. That extended his lead. And it is Ryland Kleider that forced in the last end. That's the 1 point for the Northwest Territories, you see. And in Ontario, it is a quiet hit weight by Sam Moybrook that has made all the difference in this game.
Okay, go.
Go on.
Good.
Snow's a little bit of weight so we can move ours.
Yeah, good, but not good enough. It's totally exposing. You throw any weight you want here.
Roll a bit. Yeah.
That's really better, yeah.
Control.
Good news for Quebec, though. There's still lots of rocks behind the tee line, even once this is made.
Nose is okay.
Yeah, the perfect road. You might want to kill your own red on the way by here with the yellow.
Weight's good.
Hot, heavy.
Little hot. Hard. Little hard.
Little hot out of the hand.
Whoa.
Daniel.
Hard.
Golden Flash.
Hard. Yep, good. Shot.
Really, really good. It gets it away from the corner guard and takes one red that was problematic to begin with out of play.
Yeah.
Good weight choice there.
Bob. Okay.
Board. Just board.
Yeah.
Not sure I'm hitting in this situation. I understand you can't outdraw it, but you could freeze to it. You could tap it back. You could go around the corner because there's certainly 2 doubles available.
Are they just afraid of the stones in play?
Yeah, and I think with Saskatchewan sitting 3, going around the corners, they'd be 4th shot, so maybe they're trying to clear it up a little in the middle first.
Oh,
like
maybe we can do that. How's that?
Yeah, they've made some really precise hit and rolls this game, Team Quebec.
It's good, but it isn't, because it happens to clear that back red. They got a little unlucky on that great roll.
And I was going to say it's incredible. See, and it's, I guess it's not.
But gladly you didn't.
Oh, good.
Nose hit, big speed, which you're going to get out of Colton.
Oh. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, it's his game.
Whoa!
Yeah.
But as you say, he's grown into being a wonderful all-round player.
Sorry, Flash.
And that will spill. Maybe available on that out-turn side.
Nice chance now. They can sink one around the corner, freeze in there. Colton didn't want to roll there.
Nice freeze.
Yeah. All right,
Territories against Saskatchewan, Kathy.
And a chance for Ryland to advance even further with an open draw for 2. Just needs to outcount that biter on the right side. This after Aaron Bartling rolled out on his hit against 2.
Mentioned that this Bartling team, first ever from Hay River on the south shore of Great Slave Lake, to represent the territory in a Brier, but at the Scotties, Shirley King did it from Hay River. And that Brier of 89 was where? Right here in Kelowna, interestingly enough. And so the Scotties banner hangs in that club, and now they'll hang a Brier banner too.
Just a slight error on Colton Flash's hit. The shooter rolled behind this guard, and
maybe pick it.
great freeze by Jean-Michel Menard.
Yeah, this time it
You could definitely
might jam.
double stuff. I think that'd be hard.
Straight peel?
Well, if you it's stuffing.
What about straight peel?
Well, he goes around that one.
He goes around that one.
Sure. Yeah.
That's how amazing it is, and it all because McEwen's team went deep on a couple.
Flash was feeling like
12,
feeling like
back
15
eight.
probably.
Okay, let's throw back 8, back 12.
They talked about the run back. If you miss the run back, Quebec goes around the corner guard, and there's a potential 3. Just like that, all of a sudden they're back in the game.
I like this call. Try to release the back red. Keep the shooter on the Quebec Yellowstone on the foot.
If you ever tick, you probably have the right speed to roll into the rings.
Colton Flash. Daniel. Now this is Kevin.
Curl. Yeah, get the red. Get the red.
And yeah, they'll release it. Now watch where that spins to. And now their corner frozen. Center line. And they are the shot stone.
Good awareness. So the rock that was hurting their chances of getting the yellow one out was their own red. They got rid of it. So they can get it next time in theory.
Non, un jam là. Non, elle passe serrée là. Il y a un double main. Mais là, il le cache encore plus. OK, on dit que hack. OK. Ça. Je pense que tu veux rester avec sur le dette. Genre juste pour dire high side pour que les deux roulent par là. Ouais.
Mais là, sur le nez, là, ça se peut qu'on
Yeah, just hack weight. Try to hit it close to nose and keep the shooter right on the face of that top red.
So the top red's not going very far because it's locked on. Just hit it at 11 o'clock. Eh?
Tant que ça, défaisons-le, puis l'ayons 2 shots. Right?
Ouais, c'est un bon point.
Ben, si c'était mon point à moi, là. Là?
Non, non, c'est moi qui l'ai dit.
Là? C'est ligue.
Eux autres, ce qu'ils disent, c'est... Hein? Mettons que j'ai fait parfait hack. Lui, il a fait la même shot par-dessus. On est batté un peu, là. Il prend tout ce que sinon, on essaie de noser puis qu'on est juste demi-freezé. On peut frapper sur le nez, hit it normal. Faire le double? Ouais. OK.
What's their concern?
They're worried if they make the shot they called, if they play the hit and stay right on the face, then Mike will do the same thing, and then there goes their multiple score.
Nose avec normal, c'est correct aussi, là. Ouais.
So they're going to play the double instead.
Normal?
Sure. Fait que là, tu essaies de le noter sur le nez, right?
Ouais, je pense que oui.
They've got a good chance at 2 right now. There'll be some separation. There won't be a double if this is made.
So many times you try to go for that 3, you end up with 1.
It was the front end that pointed that out to jam in the hack.
Going around the corner would have been the other option.
Yeah, another...
Yeah.
Trepanier picked them up
really hard, Jeff.
Very, very quickly.
Really hard, Jeff.
Oh, boy.
Really hard,
Gotta
Jeff.
go. Watch that
really
center line.
Jeff.
Always watch
really
that
hard.
line, and they won't get them both. They are shot rock for the moment, however. In fact, maybe sitting 1-2.
I think they're sitting 2.
Yeah.
C'est parfait, ça. Va être tough, ça.
Kind of worked, really. They almost got the
well, I guess it doesn't really
secondary call.
Does it? He knows it.
Well, he's going to try to roll underneath, and then I've got to freeze.
So why don't we just pick this?
Well, we're not even shot, man.
Oh, I thought we were shot. Sorry.
No, this would
shot.
be.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's be shot then. Yep. Right there.
This game's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You've seen that out turn.
Yeah, I don't want to throw board at this. Yeah, I wonder if I just throw an 8 with the out turn.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty straight, eh?
Yeah.
Mike's going to throw a fairly firm weight here, only because if he hits it a hair high side, he'll kill that yellow one, because he is 3 up. But the ultimate goal is to nose this and be shot rock.
skip stones here in the 6th.
So hot. Yeah, a little big, Kev. Yep.
Big. A little big.
Yep, gotta go still, though.
Mike McEwen.
Hard! Really gotta drag this, push it back. Come on.
Really gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
All right.
Flash trying to push it back, and he'll push it out, and they're going to lose that shooter.
Boy.
Okay, Mike.
Been a little soft on the release because they yelled heavy.
On peut prendre 2, mais là, je veux dire, il n'y a rien au centre.
Go around the other corner.
I was thinking the other one would make more
Yeah, if you ever cue these up the wrong angle, you're scoring 1.
Si on vient ici et il fait un run back, le bout est fini. Si t'en viens ici, on le force à faire un drop.
Yeah, they haven't come around this corner yet this end, so that would be my only thought as to why they prefer to go to the other one.
Ice is so good, though. You should get a good guess on this. They threw the corner. They had one a little deep here that finished really hard hog line in.
He just wants to keep this above the tee line.
Let's go.
Felix said even if he's only a half a rock hidden, they'll have to play the chase. He'll roll to the middle, and then there's your 2.
Yeah, you try too hard to bury it here, and it over curls. It won't be second shot. Got to stay in the white here.
Just get the speed right.
Felix Asselin.
Oh, juste la ligne. Oh, juste le weight. Juste le weight.
C'est où tu l'as vu, Jim? On est un peu plus loin que ça.
Trepanier now with a little dust, and Crit with the carry.
Okay. Whoa, whoa.
Yep.
All right.
Very nice.
Pretty good.
Pick your poison. Which one do you like the best? They're both similar difficulty.
No, you put double. That's what we want right now, I think.
I think that's the shot, no?
You can probably see a third of this. Great view.
Yeah, I got enough.
Maybe higher, the double might have been available.
Yeah, no, we don't have to push that one down,
aren't you? Yes. Yeah.
Fascinating game here. You might never make some mistake here, and it would be easy to make a mistake here. It's a tie game.
This is all because there were a few rocks behind the tee line to start the end for Team Saskatchewan.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, I got enough.
Just through kind of weight, or what you're looking for?
Just the half.
Okay.
Ain't enough to kill it. Speed's good here.
Yeah, it's 14.6 on that one.
Tenth Brier appearance for Mike McEwen.
It's good. Good.
Yep,
right now. Yep.
Clean. Whoa, clean. Whoa, clean.
A little hot.
Clean. Whoa, whoa. Clean.
It's good.
Clean.
Clean.
Curl.
Now,
Curl.
Daniel
On this yellow.
help it over.
Should be fine.
And they will push it out, roll it to the middle, so they'll have their chance for 2.
Very important shot that was just made there for those, you know.
Nice throw. That's pure.
3 would have turned this game right around.
Yeah.
Good shot.
It's tough to defend with the 5 rock rule. Once you're ahead, it's just, you think you're laughing, but you really got to work.
Straight.
Board up. Board up.
Whoa. Speed. Yep. Lead. Straight.
Yep.
Yep.
Crit.
Yeah, pas de danser, là. Pas de danser, pas de
Straight. Straight.
Pas de danser.
Straight. Speed.
Watch the jam. Oh, and they got away with it at the back for 2. That makes up for that run back miss by Asselin. 5. McEwen still leads it.
Who's winning the Stanley Cup?
Probably the only Canadian that doesn't watch hockey.
I'm going to hope it's the Vancouver Canucks, because that's my team.
Who won last year? Florida? Maybe go with them again.
I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning just because we have some connections on that team with Josh. His cousin's on that team, so I'm going to go with the Lightning.
Hey, who's his cousin?
Brandon Hagel.
Let's go Winnipeg.
Well, I really hope Winnipeg can get it done.
I think the Winnipeg Jets are primed and ready to kind of go deep. They have one of the best goaltenders in the entire world on their team.
Connor Hellebuck, Winnipeg Jets, baby.
Winnipeg Jets. It's time to win the cup.
If the Jets won the cup, it would be, pandemonium.
Not the Canadians.
I'm going to go with Mark Kennedy's team, the Edmonton Oilers. It's an easy one. It's the Oilers. Oh, definitely the Oilers.
I believe that the Oilers have the best shot so far.
I got to go with back home. Everybody in my family loves the Leafs.
I think the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup because even blind squirrels find a nut every now and then.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
But definitely not the Leafs, right?
Oh, no. Please not.
A Canadian fan can never pick the Maple Leafs. Canada's #1 trade deadline show, Trade Center, presented by Harvey's, is almost here. Friday, expert tracking analysis covering every NHL trade deadline all day long, and it's only on TSN. Yeah, we are in the home of the Rockets. Leon Draisaitl. They're on an 8-game road trip. How about Luke Schem? 2 Stanley Cups. And it's neat how they do this. They put the awards down, and then you come over here to Duncan Keith, and you got cups, and you got Conn Smythe award-winning. That's a big trophy case for Duncan Keith. Will it be the Oilers year? Will it be the Jets year? Woo! Could it be possibly some Canadian team that wins it this year? Down the stretch they go. And we're midway through. We're not quite at the final stretch of this year's Montana's Brier, as we welcome you back on this Monday afternoon. And a couple by Quebec gets them a little closer. So it's Saskatchewan's Mike McEwen with the lead and with the hammer. They have the last rock playing the Redstones here in 7.
La ligne est meilleure.
Close. Good way.
Wow.
Yes.
Yep. On peut y aller un peu.
Whoa.
Yep, le White ici.
Yep.
OK, White est là.
Yes.
Yep.
Whoa.
OK. Oh. Pretty good. On bounce un petit peu.
I tell you, I've been impressed. They're down by 1, but I think Quebec has thrown a pretty good game.
Oh, no question about it.
Soft shots, the positioning.
Yep. And the last end, McEwen kind of let them off the hook with bad positioning. They went deep 2 or 3 times, maybe after the mop, and then Colton got a little unlucky when he jammed one, rolled, buried behind the corner, and that's what set up a nice deuce. But you're right, it's location. Quebec's done a great job of that the last 2 or 3 ends.
Yeah, the execution on these freezes around the corner guard has been really strong for Team Quebec. You need to have perfect line and weight for those shots, and they're making no mistake here.
Back T.
We're to it.
Yep.
Goes to show it too. We picked on them with the 4 different releases. If the skip can figure out where to put the broom, it doesn't matter.
So good.
Quand on est dedans, là, je pense qu'on n'a plus le choix.
Ontario and Yukon, Kathy.
Well, it's become very much a race to the middle. Thomas Scoffin on his final stone drew in. He is biting the very top of the lid. It is Moybrook that is shot, trying to find a way to score 2.
Curl.
Steele.
Curl. Okay.
Nathan Steele, and won't, so just that one.
He's trying to play your favorite round, the horn shot, just caught it too thick.
Plus moins, Félix. Je sais que je vais courber beaucoup, mais elle prend du temps à se rendre à la ligne.
Starting to look a little scary for Team Quebec here, though. Jean-Michel is just going to try to lock this freeze on the side. It's its second shot. But any over curl, big trouble. Any bounce off,
this has
big trouble.
Sorry, a familiar feel to what is it, the second, Russ?
Yeah.
Same idea, coming down behind those stones on the
that's right.
wide corner.
The other problem here for Quebec is their bailout is down the middle, but there's only 1 center guard, not 2.
It's also not very tight to the house. Come around the center, it's probably chaseable.
Oh, boy.
An over curl.
There's the rotation again, Vic. That had almost 0.
Okay. Soft.
Ouais, t'avais peut-être perdu ta rotation un petit peu.
Ouais.
C'est pas. Je trouvais pas.
Good sweep, Mark.
perfect weight here, Vic, but look at the rotation. It takes roughly 10 seconds to go from the hog line to T-line. In that 10-second period, we got what?
3/4.
3/4.
Maybe.
That's not nearly enough, and it just, the blinker goes on and away it goes. And it's hard to teach it on straight curling club ice, but I would suggest that was maybe 3 rotations at the most all the way down, whereas Colton might throw a 5.5, 6. There's a good 15 to 18 inches difference in line because of that lack of rotation, and Quebec got caught on it a couple times. Now watch the difference here.
Back T. Back T. Back T. Coming off a bit.
It's predictable. It'll glide a little farther, and
pretty good.
Joe and I would suggest to anybody taking up the sport, you got to get it up to 4 to 6 rotations, or you can't play in this type of ice.
Well, the rule of thumb, isn't it, Joey? More rotation on arena ice. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
In a curling club, you have no problems with 2.5 rotations. It's just once you get here with the sharper curl, sharper pebble.
I'm just surprised he's forgotten that. I mean, he's a world champion, or a world silver medalist, Canadian champion. How do you forget that?
Well, you know what? And he's almost my vintage, and we learned to throw 1.5 rotations. And then we got it up to about 2 to 2.5. Then they started sanding the rocks, and we were all missing shots left, right, and center, narrow. And it's just habit forming. It's tough to break that if you threw 100 million rocks with 2 rotations. It's just tough under the gun to start spinning them. And
I'd also think if you take a look at the teams that we're featuring today at what their season was. Mike McEwen is playing on arena ice all the time. The events this Quebec team played in, most of them were curling clubs, and so it wouldn't have hurt him.
Might have helped him.
Absolutely, it probably did.
Contact correct. Trepanier. Got it by, they did. And now they'll still leave the Quebec, the Saskatchewan side appears to, yes, sitting 3, but they've unlocked them.
Over curled a tad again.
It's just hard to hold that line at the end now.
Yep.
That shooter might have stayed a little bit towards the center line side. At least it's out counting one of the Saskatchewan stones.
Ever go around the middle?
Right here.
Side there.
There.
Nice little nest here for Quebec.
I don't hate something like this.
Timeout's been called by McEwen.
Yeah. I guess he plays this.
That's okay. We'll keep this open, right?
I was really hoping you wouldn't call it. I'm not sure what to do. I like one top 8 here.
Right here?
On this side.
On this side?
Kind of take away the crotch double and spin behind everything. Is he going to play something into that? Probably. Is that?
I think the only reason I like this side is
I don't like this because I think he can get like that.
I agree. I think I like right here and keep it half open. Then no matter what he does, we should.
Whatever you do has to be open for sure.
Yeah.
And then he plays that, obviously, and then we're fine with that.
So we still have a rock right here, right?
Yeah, I know. Good news is he can't freeze there, right? Like it's too hard to get there. I don't think so.
Oh, you can't. You can he can maybe do this.
You do like,
but that's still hard.
Is this speed out here a little dicey? Would it be easier to play the intern?
You can almost over curl it, eh?
Just over curl it?
Might be easier to over curl it, but I'm worried it would just stay buried.
What's he doing?
I'm not worried about that.
I think the speed's fine. I'm not worried about the speed.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that.
To keep it open, we got to go pretty wide.
I agree, but I'm not worried about the speed.
I don't mind the intern.
All right,
he does what? Makes this double? What does he do? It's okay if he makes a double, right? No, I know. I'm just saying, what is he going to do? Or he hits and rolls, like doubles and spins over there. But if yours is open, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And we sit 3.
I like it. I think so.
I think the intern's going to be better weight.
Sure. I like it, yeah.
Well, I mean, they threw the interns on. It's not going hard there is the only thing.
Yeah, but I think we'll easily get here.
Okay.
Somewhere in this type of thing. Langer suggested the intern one, which would probably choke off these back ones. The other thing he mentioned, which was very important, is Quebec cannot freeze to those red ones because there's so much curl. The internal over curl, the outer will definitely over curl. They'd have to throw a bit of weight at it. Then the yellow one's exposed, and McEwen can kick it out of there.
Yeah, if they were to go on the other side and block the 2 reds that are in the back of the 8-foot, that would have left a double and roll buried for Quebec. So I think I like this one. let them try to make the double spin up into the forefoot area, and they still have something to work with.
Line's good.
So hot, doesn't it?
Line's good. Heavy. Line's good.
Well, that's going to slow down.
Full four. Full four still.
You don't want this back button.
It needs to over curl the guard too. This has to go sideways now.
It's pretty good.
Okay, that's okay, I think.
Good.
Not bad, eh?
Shoot.
Over curled.
Hack weight.
That's where they wanted it, just a little too deep,
Yeah.
right? They wanted it to be open.
Yeah.
It's kind of edge on edge, just a little too deep in the rings.
Va y aller, c'est pas le problème.
This is the point with the fiber arc roll. No matter what kind of mess you're in, there's always a get out of jail shot with that center guard.
But isn't it interesting? They said they can't get to that little nest at the back. Now that stone where it ended up may allow them to get the stone to the nest.
Yeah, they might be able to throw soft weight here, hit it and roll as far as they can and be in front, yeah. Or there, or hit and roll buried, or mostly buried. You always have a chance when you've got the center guard when you're stealing. It's just sometimes it's a lonely chance. Here, there's not a lot of yellow in play here.
Big.
Felix Asselin.
Straight. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Up or up. Straight. Yep. 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 Straight. Yep. 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 Straight. Straight. Girl. 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 Girl.
Oh, by now, where's it going to go? And nowhere.
That's nice. That's good though, Vic, because I think you have to approach this with the outturn side and it could jam. You might be able to get it with the inturn.
I mean, that's pretty high guard, right?
Good throw.
Yeah. And this is the side that should throw.
I think it's accessible for Mike McEwen. Felix threw that pretty hard, and he still got a bit of curl past the guard. So if they just throw back line here, I think they can get to nose. But they do have to watch that jam.
Okay, just back 12 on this one?
Back 8. Back 12.
Back 8, yeah.
Yeah, we only have to pump it out of the forefoot.
J'aurais-tu vraiment sorti sa rouge?
Ben, regarde, Pierre, plus bas. Je pense que c'est bon, ça. Je pense que c'est meilleure chance que je fasse ça.
All the weight.
No, that weight.
You cannot overthrow this.
Mike McEwen in his first.
Weight's good.
Yeah.
We're up. Yep.
Back 8.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just enough.
Whoa. Yep.
Just enough.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Hard.
Whoa.
Just enough.
Curl.
Now Daniel trying to help it over. Boy, they didn't even flirt with that.
Part of that.
And trying to avoid any kind of jam, and they cannot. So second shot belongs to Quebec as we drop in on PEI in Alberta.
And he could try to draw to the lid, but I listened in, and Tyler's trying to hit it on the out turn with bullet weight, scatter the 3 to count 1.
Whoa.
It has been all about Jacobs picking out PEI stones, and this is not going to work, and that is a steal of 3.
What a difference this year. I mean, one game away from qualifying last year, losing in that game to the Territories and Jamie Cooey. And this year, they come into this one winless in 3.
Yeah, Mike couldn't have thrown it any lighter. He had to get a hair closer to the guard, but it was a tough chase.
Good weight.
Yeah, it had virtually no movement past the guard.
Whoa.
What a turn of events.
Back 4. Hey, straight. No. Straight.
Martin Cret wiping the sweat from his brow.
On va donner le double.
Yes!
Et back 4. J'ai collé 2 fois.
And to the back they go. So they are 1 and 2 now at the back.
Whatever weight you want, Mike.
Can you get there to make the double?
Probably an 8.
I think so.
Or normal.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I like normal better.
Right?
Doesn't have to push that top yellow very far either. Just out of the 8 foot.
What's this going to do here? Be a little bit of curl, but nothing
I would expect
crazy.
just a hair curl, yeah.
You can actually throw quite a bit of weight if you choose. Hack weight makes the double if you hit it just right, but you can throw at least normal here
it's going to be for a bunch.
Because you just have to hit the right half or less than half, so the guard's almost not in play. And yes, it would be a bunch. You might scatter the 2 in the right, but I think it's for a minimum 3.
Norm?
You know, it looks pretty well buried, but you only have to hit the side you can already see.
Quebec already gave up that big end, do you remember, to Ontario. And scored a 5 on them.
Norm.
Okay. Mike McEwen. Final stone right now it is Quebec sitting the 2. Good. Here in the 7th.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Flash with early. Licks.
Curl.
Now trying to help it over. Here we go. Daniel. Have you got them both? Bang. Yes, he does. And they'll move back. And now you look. And it's 1, 2 for sure. Now we'll look around the edge. Is that a 3rd point there?
I think so.
On the side.
3.
3 it is. They kick them away. Sort of Saskatchewan. We'll add 3 here in 7. Are they on the way to a 4th straight win? Would appear so, unless Quebec can stage a major comeback here. Mike McEwen on the team from the Nutana in Saskatoon. It's 3 on the board in the 7th. Now lead 8-4, and Quebec and Felix Asselin will have last rock. They have the hammer playing the Yellowstones here.
Great end by Saskatchewan, but if Felix gets that last one in a little better spot, a little more curl, a little higher, it's a potential steal as many as 2.
Yeah, come around, bite top button when you force Mike to draw the lid.
Yep. Such a fine line at this level.
I was just going to say, Euros, if you think, in fact,
I don't mind top 12 in front of ours.
I mean, there are a number of keys to this level of curling. But is it now become rock positioning?
Oh, yeah,
number
for
one
sure.
thing?
Yeah.
Even that way,
it kind of always was, but it's more accurate now because there's so many smaller areas to get to, and getting the angles right, and the hitting with these rocks are so good. You can, run off 4, 5, 6 rocks at a time. So if you get them hooked, you get them angled right, you stop your opponent from being able to do that type of stuff. So it's all about precision.
I think it's close.
Top 8.
Like those yellows, for instance, Vic, it's tough. If you get buried around those yellows, it's hard for McEwen to raise those yellows and get the buried rock. It's all positioning.
Curl, touch the line. Okay. Top one, Kev.
That died on him.
He had a pick, I think. He's cleaning up the sheet here.
Comme ça, juste les poussées en arrière?
Yeah.
Sure. Vas-y,
There's to the point of what you just said, Vic. It wasn't his fault, but he didn't quite get the positioning. Now, 3 guards. He can tap the reds back, roll behind the yellows. Whereas if that doesn't pick, the shot's probably a run back or something.
Whoa.
Ack, wait.
That's plus, Jeff.
Martin Cret.
Straight. Whoa. Curl, Felix.
Curl.
Straight. Nice.
Good shot.
Coming down. We'll wait, Mart.
Why, is that true?
Couldn't
Or
do
double
much
peel
better.
on these.
Yeah.
If it stuffs on one of those, that's fine.
This is the easiest double.
That one?
Yeah. I agree.
I like that.
You don't like doubling the yellows?
Well, not really. I like getting rid of that one, too.
Quarter?
Yeah.
Quarter rock.
Quarter stone here, Kev, just a...
Could just slash this into here.
That was my other thought. You might get it rolling in the house.
Well, you could get really lucky. I like that. Let's do that.
I like that better.
Slash it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably still a third.
Half's
This will just sit here
close.
for you. You guys saw
Thin
that
half.
earlier?
Yeah, this won't do anything.
Whoa. Whoa. We're a little thin.
Make a noise.
Might across. I should have called it.
That's
Sorry.
good.
That's good.
I can rip that into that now, though.
Well, this will be a moment that will be remembered by the Mattern family. Joshua throwing the third stones for Saskatchewan out of the Nutana, but Father John is in and has taken up the lead spot, Kathy.
Well, they had a bit of an advantage, and I think that they felt that maybe this game was wrapping up. So an opportunity to play in the Brier with his son is a pretty special moment.
Yeah.
Straight! OK, just see. Veux-tu curler jusqu'en arrière de la roue?
Now, he did go over 2 at the plate. His first 2 throws.
And over the hog line at the same time,
Well,
I think.
yes.
But let's not pile on.
Checked all the boxes.
Yeah, there's no sensors at this one.
You like this to here?
There's that flash. There's this double.
My first throw is that one. Okay.
Although it's not really guarding anything.
Third.
Well,
it's still guarding.
Yes. Yeah.
Third.
Yeah, I think you gotta take a run at these guards if you're Saskatchewan.
You go.
1/3. Next third.
You got it.
Their red tight guard might come into the rings too if you hit it just right.
Yep.
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 Yes, hard. You gotta go.
Hard.
You really gotta go, Tim.
Hard.
Full flash, bang, got him. Oh, and he does. Clears the corners.
Too good.
Great shot.
A little thicker, he would have taken that yellow.
Real good.
Dernier garde, puis après ça, il faut commencer à taper, fuser sur elle. Je pense que c'est un autre. OK. Ça m'étonnerait qu'il frappe elle si tu fais un beau guard sur elle.
C'est normal que c'est.
Well, you know, when you come into these games, Victor, there is a privilege of playing at the Brier and talking to some people you watch on TV all the time.
Ça back.
Ça?
Now, if you guys want to win, here's what you got to do.
Wait.
J'ai 30, mais soft.
2,5. 2.
Pas besoin de curler. Ah oui, fuck à courbe.
Tiens-la un peu.
Elle va y aller, elle va y aller. Jeff! Whoa! Jeff!
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa! Jeff! Jeff! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Yep.
Jeff! Whoa! Hey. Aspiré dans
It's clean. Could just leave it too. Can you chase this? Well, that's shot.
And we have our first final counter.
Well, for Team Jacobs, they have begun what is a very impressive roll. 20 points yesterday, 10 points this afternoon. But the teams are going to get harder. Their schedule is such they started soft. They had a bye. But it's going to get tougher, but they look ready.
Chase is probably the play.
And their team has been in the 90% range throughout the event so far.
Chase, back 12. Yeah.
3 straight wins for them and 4 straight losses for PEI
If he
Smith.
just peel the guard. If he just peel the guard, we're sitting 2. What's he gonna do?
I like this. We know the spot. Mike threw it.
Okay.
I like this. Just me if he does.
You don't even attempt this unless you have the knowledge that you have to miss the right way.
Yep. Sounds good.
You see a lot of the teams that are trying to get to this level take a good stab at this, miss it completely, and then you're in big trouble here. Colton's up 4. You have to make contact on one of these yellows.
Back line. Whoa, close. Yep.
Back line.
Whoa. Never.
Yep.
Never.
Whoa.
Carl. 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 Hard on that.
Hard, Kev, hard.
Hard. Hard.
Shot. Good throw flat.
Just perfection.
You never sounded like.
What a great weight choice.
Yeah, and they've seen that spot a few times.
Yeah.
I think that's why they liked playing it that way. What a shot.
They had to do everything right there. The broom in the right spot, the weight really soft. They had to carve it at the right time to get that little extra. Really nice.
Draw ici, c'est une option. Là, ben, je prends ça pour enlever tout ça après. T'as 2 pierres pour enlever ça. Ça? Ben, back 4, mettons. Après ça, on fait quoi? On a 3 pierres pour enlever 2.
Ça prend 2 doubles.
Si je fais le double ici.
Ah,
You can take it.
Saskatchewan up by 5, and they also have last rock.
And they need it, Vic, because Bartling drew on his final stone, split the house to lie 2, and given the score, Ryland is not playing the draw, he's playing the hit and stick.
Another team from the Nutana in Saskatoon.
Clean. Easy, easy.
As was Nancy Martin.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yep.
Saskatchewan champion.
Yeah, John. Yep.
Scotties.
Right to it.
Big finish.
Good.
And John Mattern will brush it in, and that will go for one more.
That's pretty good. 6 down. Good game, guys.
And that's the sound of the Velcro snap.
Thanks for the game, guys.
That's it.
Good game. Good game. Thanks for the game.
And a win for Kleider to go to 2-1.
Good game. Thanks for the game.
And they'll make the double on our sheet.
It's good. Good.
Trying to speed up.
Good hit and roll it.
Intern right there.
Yeah, just gets rid of everything, right?
Yeah.
3, 2.
Quarter off. Right
Coming into this corner,
If I'm throwing it hard enough, it shouldn't matter. Quarter off. Yeah. Third makes it 2.
They all go here. If you get this a thin half, now there's obviously a bit of danger if Mike over curls this.
We'll keep an eye on that for sure. Let's drop in on Ontario and Yukon.
Well, a lot of discussion on Sam's first. He was always lying the 2 in the 4-foot. There were 2 yellows in front. He elected to guard, and in trying to run that back, Scoffin caught one of his own, but left the 2 in the 4-foot already lying 2. Ontario has a chance for 3, needs 4-foot.
Here we go. Got them all on our sheet, and he does. Look at that.
It's good. It's out. Line's good. Little tight, guys.
Very nice.
It's out.
And from Moybrook, who was disappointed in last night's loss, throwing a 90% game.
Shot, bud.
And that's 3 more, and handshakes, and a good bounce back for Ontario.
You talked about the numbers, Vic. They played very well. This Scoffin team was not as sharp as it was yesterday, but they were also pushed to make more precise shots.
To extend their record now to 3-1 and 1-3 for the team from Yukon.
Comme tu veux, Félix. Laquelle tu vois? En arrière du corner. OK.
Top 12?
Ouais, top 12.
OK.
Je peux juste envoyer la rouge.
Parfait. He's good there. C'est 53, mais bon lancer. Gros pop.
Un peu serré.
On peut pas bien, bien.
Line's good.
On peut pas bien, bien.
C'est vous autres. Straight.
Yep.
Straight.
Up la ligne.
Wow.
Juste un tout petit jet.
Oh, juste arrête. Juste rien.
Just when we talk 12 here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Felix.
Good shot, Felix.
Yeah.
Might be easier, no?
And Mike McEwen again. You know that we talk about the getting a plus. McEwen has out-curled all of his opposite numbers through all his games so far. He's on a roll, and so is this team. Player numbers are brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mind getting rid of this yellow.
It's a pretty easy double. As long as we're confident that's out, then it's not that smart.
I mean, it looks out.
Yeah. It'd be the only reason not to throw at mine is if we were ever had a doubt on that. Then you just draw here.
You can see white.
And like,
well, but you could leave a 3 technically.
You go here and like...
Well, I'm just saying if you ever went T-line and left a double for 3, but... Okay.
Half rock, thick half?
7. 2/3 makes it.
There's 3 choices here. The one back here, try to chase that yellow one or come off your own into the side of that yellow, which you wouldn't see this at the club level very often, taking out your own, but I think it's the easiest of the 3. Don't you?
I do. I mean, the draw is relatively easy as well. It's just you risk leaving a double for a potential 3 if that yellow happens to be on in the back right-hand side.
Draw.
Oh.
Which turn are you playing?
Intern.
Intern, activate.
Yeah, I think you're worried that could be in.
Play the back 4.
We've seen from our overhead, if there's a
Mike.
sliver of white, it's usually on. It looks like a little more than a sliver this time, though.
Right.
But if there's any uncertainty, like that would be crazy. Just try to go back 8 here.
Quite a bit.
Leave a really thin double for Felix.
It's good.
Right here, then. Clean it. Clean.
We're okay.
Just back 8, back 4. Yep.
Final
Back
stone,
8.
Mike
Line's
McEwen.
perfect for
Weight's
this.
great. Weight's great.
Back 8.
Weight's great.
Right here, guys.
It's good.
Back
It's there.
8.
It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. Oh, Jim. Oh,
Good
shot.
And to
Go get
the
spot.
Oh, that's thick.
back edge of the 4.
That's it, Excel. Off nose, see? Bon, il est plus facile ça que ça. Ça,
Best way to get the 2 is the run back.
sont toutes tough. Pas plus.
It's tough to hold the shooter any other
Je
way.
la jouerais avec un genre de normal, out-turn. Une liche. C'est time out. C'est vrai. On peut prendre time out. Time out. Est-ce que si je la fais high side, je m'arrête?
Time out, Pierre.
Si je frappe de même, avec contrôle, je m'arrête-tu dans ça? Puis les deux restent? Moi, je la vois pas, honnêtement. Là.
Quoi les odds de faire ce shot-là?
You want to try to make the double, but keep your shooter is the problem.
Yeah.
2 probably isn't enough right now.
De faire celle-là pour 2. 1 sur 100.
Ça vaut-tu la peine d'aller pour 2?
10 Eh oui, ça vaut la peine d'aller pour 2. C'est 10
Qu'est-ce que t'en penses, toi, Pierre?
Moi, je pense que si tu joues celle-là avec board, elle va mener jamais ici, peut-être Alice Biter, non?
Faut sortir elle puis elle.
Ah, tu veux dire y aller out-turn de même? Oui, c'est ça, mais si on s'accroche dans la nôtre...
Moi, j'irais...
Je pense que tu peux même lancer contrôle, puis elle sort pas, elle.
Ouais.
Pas fou. Je pense qu'elle est peut-être là. Ça pogne le derrière de la pierre ici, elle s'en va là, puis elle descend vers là.
Elle jouerait plus in-turn, bro.
Oui, il faut y aller.
Moi, je pense, en tout cas.
Non.
T'en penses, Marc?
Je voulais avoir ton call là-dessus.
Et moi, je pense que ça vaut toujours la peine d'essayer quelque chose.
Vraiment, là, ça les
They're trying to figure out for the if making the double what weight they can throw to try to hold the shooter.
Out-turn ou on joue in-turn pour plus de vie?
And then they're also debating which turn to throw at this. Because one's going to bounce off livelier than the other. They have to hit the right-hand side of this rock.
Tout le monde est d'accord avec les turns.
Which will spin.
Yep.
With the in-turn that they're thinking, but they can hit it thicker that way. Hopefully they runs into their yellow and slows it down, but you need a bit of speed here because you've got to move 2 reds.
Yeah, I think they talked about throwing board, but I think they're decided on control here just to try to, because the 2 reds have to leave town. And ultimately 1 just isn't enough. They could draw for 1 here, but it's that you're down 3 playing 9. You've pretty much lost the game, so this is worth it.
Final stone. Can you make this angle double? Hold the shooter. And maybe that 3rd point is just nibbling enough. Now hopping over Kret. Here we go. Oh, and he stuffed it. And it will be a steal of 1 more for McEwen. And that will be Shakes. And McEwen will win a 4th straight. Last year's runner-up is moving. Make the final 9-4. And Quebec falls to 2-2.
Sure. On that south flank.
Hugs all around. The Marsh brothers come through. Daniel and Kevin, along with Colton Flash and Skip Mike McEwen. Yeah, there's a reason to ring the bell because they pick up a 9-4 win. And really, just look at the numbers between the 2 4th stone throwers. I thought, well, all of us think that Quebec played reasonably well, but the end it does come down, as Russ and Joe say, to the rock positioning. The game story is brought to you by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. Proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. Still got a debrief with the coach, though, even though you do win it 9-4.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By Kruger Products, the softest and strongest supporters for over 40 years. By BKT Tires, growing together. And by PointsBet, the official sportsbook and casino partner of Curling Canada.
Yeah, still time for family. Mike's daughters, Vienna and Avalon. Dad was a winner today over Quebec to remain undefeated here at this year's Montana's Brier in Kelowna. So top of the table, there you have them. You expected that, didn't you? McEwen, Jacobs, then Moybrook. Nice bounce back. Kleider's there above. There's the dividing line. Remember again, only 3 will advance out of the pool, and then it's head-to-head record that becomes the factor. That's the surprise on the other side, of course. Carruthers and Gushue, top of the table there, both undefeated, and they are meeting tonight. What a game this should be when we join you again at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Pool A. Carruthers against Gushue. As we continue on this 4th day of our coverage from Kelowna. Quebec played well, just not well enough. Sometimes a rock in a wrong spot will cost you dearly. So until we talk with you again at 9:30 Eastern Time with the big game, Team Canada defending champions against Reed Carruthers in Manitoba. Thank you for joining us here on Canada's sports leader, TSN.